Welcome back to MV Alucia.
Hello.
Here we are with our hosts again, Melissa Patrician from Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution.
Hi, I'm Dwight Coleman from the Inner Space Center at the University of Rhode Island.
So we're here to bring you a little bit of a recap of today's events and then give you a little sneak peek of what we're up to tomorrow. So for those of you who may have missed who we are or tuning in for the first time, we're aboard the MV Alucia right now. Alucia is a privately owned research vessel, and she boasts a really large suite of all different types of oceanographic instrumentation and different scientific equipment for science, research, exploration, and also great media capabilities. So our main mission here is to do great science and document that with great media. Today, we had a great test of our new hybrid tether vehicle, the Nereid Hybrid Tether, otherwise known as NHT, which is brand new technology developed here from Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution. In a few minutes, we'll be able to bring our chief scientist in and talk to Dr. Andy Bowen about what it is that we've done all day. But first, Dwight, do you want to tell us a little bit about this telepresence that we're doing right now?
Sure. Thanks, Melissa. So we're pretty excited about being here and working with the Alucia team to really, for the first time, bring this telepresence component to the expeditions, which is very exciting. So basically, what we're talking about is a suite of technologies that we think enables people on shore to feel like they're with us on the ship. And that's really the whole idea behind telepresence, is that we can do, through video broadcast technologies, through satellite internet technologies, we're able to stream live. And that's, of course, how we're coming to you live through the website and to YouTube. And this is how we do it. And it's largely through video and audio streaming, like me talking to you right now. But it's also fast internet too, or sort of fast internet. And through that internet connection, you can basically do anything. And so one order of telepresence is just moving data and sharing data between the ship and shore so that users on shore can get access to that data. It's, of course, voice communications and video broadcasting, but it's also anything that we can do over the internet, like we do it with our daily lives all the time, from the ship, and that helps us be more connected to the wired world that we live in now. And so this is really important in this day and age of getting science done, trying to operate more efficiently, getting users engaged in the science that we're doing so they're supportive of the science missions, and also kind of encouraging this next generation of scientists to join us and become oceanographers and ocean explorers to kind of do what we do, because this is really important. We have a largely unexplored world, and one way we get to communicate that is through telepresence projects from ships like the Alucia. So it's pretty exciting for us to be here and be part of all this, and we brought a lot of gear on board, and it's all working today. We had some improvements over yesterday, so that's pretty exciting. And I want to introduce one other character who's mostly behind the scenes, but he does a lot to make things happen, and that's Alex DeCiccio, and he works with me at the Inner Space Center, and he's actually here right now switching this show. So he's our producer-director. And Alex, you want to just say hi, and I'll let Andy take my seat.
Thanks, Dwight. Hi, everybody. Yep, I'm Alex DeCiccio. I'm a switcher and director over here, and basically the sweaty guy who runs around the ship plugging cables in and running around with a camera. This job is extremely fun, and we're super busy these days. But this is quite a ship to be doing something like live production on. These guys are hooked up. So now that I see Andy is here, Andy, you want to give us a little introduction?
Sure. My name's Andy Bowen. I work at the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution as an engineer involved in a variety of activities, most of which have to do with the development, design, testing, use of underwater robotics. And that's a big part of what we're doing here on the Alucia this trip.
Yeah, so Andy, what we're going to do, I think, is we're going to look at a little bit of today's activities, and
Okay.
if you wouldn't mind, we'd love if you would sort of narrate for the group kind of what we're looking at. So the first thing we'd like to show you guys today is actually our very first launch of the NHT vehicle. So if we can cut over to that, maybe Andy, you can tell us kind of what's going on.
Sure. Yeah, I'd be happy to. Yeah, as Melissa mentioned, today was really the first deployment, at least for this trip, of the NHT vehicle, which is pretty unique, and maybe we'll describe a little bit more about the specifics of the vehicle itself. What you're seeing is some footage, as Melissa said, that was shot today. involving our preparations for launch of the vehicle. There's a group of people that are very highly skilled and strong, as you might see here, dealing with deploying some of the components of the tether cable for the ROV itself. It's equipped with a range of actually really sophisticated imaging systems. Has a panoramic camera and a 3D camera actually that gives you a view of the seafloor in 3 dimensions. But the planning and preparation for launches is fairly extensive. You can see the team on the deck here holding taglines that are necessary to control the vehicle as it goes over the side. We lift it with a winch, which is far back on the ship. The initial lift is done with the yellow cable you see going through the A-frame, which is this large structure that puts the vehicle over the side. Once we get it into the water, we slip the taglines. Just see the ones on either side. And in this case, we were actually doing some testing at anchor in Puerto Pino, and some of the locals came out and were really interested in what was going on, so they got a ringside view of at least the sort of initial dip test of the vehicle. What we were really doing here was working out some of the details about the taglines and launch and retrieval practice before it was really critical, and ballasting and checking out vehicle systems and so forth. So that was an important step that we took early today before we actually deployed the vehicle out, I guess, about 30 miles offshore, where we took it down to about, just a little bit over 1,500 meters. That was pretty successful. We got the vehicle to the seafloor, got beautiful pictures, performed some tests of the vehicle systems, the propulsion and the sensors, and most importantly a manipulator arm, which is really critical for scientists in terms of being able to sample the seafloor. So it all went, I think, as well as we had any right to expect, and that's pretty gratifying because there have been some long hours and a lot of hard work to get it to this point. So we're pleased when things go the way we expect.
Well, congratulations, Andy, to you and the whole team. That's great to hear. Let's go ahead and take one of these live questions we're getting right now.
Sure.
Donna from New York, she wants to know, why is the vehicle orange?
Well, we make it a really visible color so that if, heaven forbid, it becomes detached from the ship and we have to go search from it, that we can actually find it at as long a distance as possible. So orange is a good color from that point of view. Oftentimes you see life jackets or life rafts, things that you want people to be able to find at sea. A really vibrant color like orange is pretty handy in that way. So
Sure.
That's the color we use.
Excellent. So I understand that once the vehicle was in the water today, we actually, here on the ship, we got to actually see what the vehicle was seeing down at depth. Is that
That's
correct?
Right. Yep.
I think we have some footage of that, don't we, Alex?
Yes, we do, Melissa.
Let's see what that looks like.
All right.
Yeah. So we're operating in the mission control center on the Alucia. And actually, what you see people wearing here are some glasses that help us see the three-dimensional images that are presented on the screen. And it's in this case we actually saw I think what was it? It wasn't a sea cucumber.
Called a pom-pom anemone, actually.
Pom-pom anemone, and it was really an amazing sight. I'd never seen anything quite like it. Looked sort of like an underwater tumbleweed, and I'm not sure if we have any footage of it, but maybe if we don't at the moment, you'll have to come back and see more. Anyway, these are images of everybody on board kind of coming into the control center, wanting to watch what was going on, looking at the imagery and being involved. And that's one of the things that's kind of unique about tethered vehicles is that they provide all the information via their tether to the surface, and not only to the surface, but in the case of this particular cruise, you'll be able to see live action from the vehicle itself during some of the activities we have planned in the next day or so.
That's great. Let's take one more live question while we're here. Max from New Jersey. He seems to want to know, he says that heard you mention that the vehicle went to 1,500 meters today. Is that as deep as the ROV can go?
No, the Nereid vehicle is designed to go to 2,500, so an extra 1,000 meters or 3,000 feet deeper.
That's really deep, guys.
And so tomorrow morning we're planning on diving it to the 2,500 meter mark, and that will be as deep as this particular vehicle is designed to go, and that has much to do with the structure of the vehicle. So the housings for the electronics and the flotation, that big orange object on the top is what actually floats the vehicle. So all those components, are designed for certain external pressures. And of course, as you go deeper in the ocean, the pressure gets greater and greater, and the structure needs to resist those pressures in certain cases. And so in this, for Nereid, at the moment, that's as deep as it can go, although we'd like to be able to redesign it to work from Alucia at water depths up to 5,000 meters or over 15,000 feet. So perhaps one day that'll happen, but that would be quite unique.
Wow, that's really great, Andy. We're so excited to have you aboard. And I should just mention here, as part of the Alucia team, we've never had anything on Alucia that can go down as deep as this. So we're really, really excited to have this new ROV as part of the oceanographic suite here on board. Today was the first time anyone was ever aboard Alucia and saw footage of the ocean any deeper than our submersibles go. So today at 1,500 meters was very exciting. Tomorrow at 2,500 meters is going to be even more exciting. So we can't wait. We're super excited, and we're super glad to have you, Andy. Thanks for taking a couple moments out of your busy day to come and chat with us. Not that he can go anywhere, guys. He's stuck on the ship with us.
Yeah, well, we have plenty to do, unfortunately. So it's been a long day, but we still got a few things to do before we're prepared for tomorrow's activities. So it's been great to participate in this, and thanks for everybody tuning in and checking out the Alucia Live site. And we're hoping you keep watching and come back often.
Excuse me. And speaking of tomorrow's activities, tomorrow we're going to have a couple really great things. The first being the deepest dive for the ROV. Excuse me, 2,500 meters. And then the second is we're going to get a chance to test that optical modem that we've heard so much about.
Right.
And do our first sub dives of the cruise as well. So tomorrow, tune back in. We're going to tell you all about the submersibles, which are two of our other really cool things here on board. Sure. We're going to talk to you all about the optical modems. And we have, again, the same 3 scheduled live events. So all day long, check us out on Twitter at Melrose0717, hashtag Alucia Live. And, keep checking in. Our live video feeds will be, again, at 12, 4, and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Daylight Savings Time. All you East Coaster USers over that time. So thanks again, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Andy, for joining us. And you'll see more of us soon. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
See ya.